For years, the British royal family maintained an image of discipline, unity, and emotional restraint, especially under the public's constant gaze. But all facades crack eventually. In a moment that stunned the world, King Charles finally broke his long silence, voicing a lifetime's worth of frustration, sorrow, and regret. What followed was not just a personal revelation, but a reflection of decades of suppressed truth, heartbreak, and emotional disconnection within the royal institution. Charles's outburst didn't emerge from nowhere. Those closest to him recognized it as the accumulation of years of unresolved pain, feelings buried under layers of royal protocol and duty. At the center of it all lies the tragic and complex story of his relationship with Princess Diana, the late mother of his children, and the woman many believe was never truly welcomed into the firm. The public believed Charles and Diana's love story started at a glamorous party hosted by her sister Sarah. The truth was more subtle. Diana was only 16 when she first encountered Charles. Shy, youthful, and full of innocent energy, she was far removed from the world of polished diplomacy and scrutiny Charles inhabited. At that time, Charles was still romantically linked to Sarah. But a moment of shared solitude with Diana during a gallery tour began stirring feelings that neither fully understood nor dared to act on immediately. Sarah's surprising public statement that she had no interest in marrying into royalty left Charles free to pursue Diana. The press began to feed on their every appearance. The world soon embraced Diana as the charming fairy tale bride-to-be, with her natural grace and warmth endearing her to millions. But the cracks in the romance were visible even before the wedding bells rang. In their famous engagement interview, Diana confirmed she was in love, while Charles gave a lukewarm response that puzzled many. Whatever love means. The line lingered in public memory and haunted Diana. Her doubt deepened just days before the wedding when she discovered Charles had gifted a special piece of jewelry, not to her, but to Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman from his past, and, as it would later turn out, his future. Despite these red flags, Diana went through with the wedding, encouraged by family and pressed by public expectations. Their televised marriage was a global event, a royal spectacle of elegance and tradition. Yet beneath the glamour was a young woman silently questioning her place in the royal family and in her husband's heart. Diana hoped that motherhood would strengthen their bond, but the emotional distance between her and Charles only widened. Camilla remained ever present in their lives, a shadow Diana could never dispel. Diana later confronted Camilla directly, but her plea fell on deaf ears. The press, ever hungry for scandal, fed on the growing rift. The final blow came with the public leak of an intimate phone call between Charles and Camilla. The graphic and emotional content of the call left no doubt about the depth of their relationship. Charles eventually admitted to the affair, breaking what little illusion remained. Diana, in her now iconic BBC interview, addressed the truth with heartbreaking clarity. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. The royal lifestyle offered Diana no refuge. With every step she took, cameras followed. Every smile was analyzed. Every tear hidden behind palace walls added weight to her fragile mental health. She spoke openly about her struggles with bulimia, the isolation she felt in the palace, and the deep yearning to be truly loved and understood. Public sympathy gravitated toward Diana. She broke royal protocol by speaking candidly about her pain, and in doing so, became a symbol of vulnerability and authenticity. While Charles was seen by many as emotionally distant, Diana was embraced for her raw humanity. By 1992, Charles and Diana had separated. In 1996, they finalized their divorce. Though no longer a royal wife, Diana remained the people's princess. She turned her heartbreak into humanitarian purpose, dedicating her life to AIDS awareness, landmine victims, and the forgotten corners of society. When Diana died tragically in 1997, the world mourned as if it had lost a family member. Her death marked not just the end of an era, but the start of public reckoning for the monarchy. The grief was profound, the outrage even more so, and Charles, for better or worse, was forced to navigate a sea of blame. Meanwhile, Camilla's story unfolded in the background. She had once married Andrew Parker Bowles, a respected Army officer, after years of an on-and-off relationship. Their union, built partially out of societal pressure, eventually dissolved in the 1990s. Camilla had never truly severed emotional ties with Charles, and their connection reignited quietly, even amid public outrage. Despite public disdain, Charles and Camilla's bond endured. By 2005, Clarence House announced their engagement. They married in a modest civil ceremony, and Camilla was given the title Duchess of Cornwall, not Princess of Wales, out of respect for Diana's memory. Their wedding, after years of scandal and tension, marked a new chapter. Following Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022, Camilla was officially named Queen Consort. At first, her presence stirred discomfort among the public, but over time, perceptions shifted. Her consistent support of Charles, low-key demeanor, and dedication to royal duties helped soften public opinion. What once seemed unthinkable, a woman who was once reviled becoming queen, became a reality. Camilla's transformation within the royal institution wasn't just about time healing wounds, it was also about perseverance. She endured years of harsh headlines and public scrutiny, but never walked away. Quietly and steadily, she became a central pillar of Charles's life, standing beside him during the monarchy's most turbulent periods. To understand Charles's emotional complexity, one must examine his upbringing. Born into royalty in 1948, Charles was destined to be king. His childhood, unlike most, was shaped by formality, scrutiny, and isolation. His mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was often away fulfilling her duties. His father, Prince Philip, enforced discipline and expected stoicism. Boarding school life did not ease Charles's burden. At Gordonstone in Scotland, a school focused on endurance and toughness, Charles felt isolated and out of place. He was sensitive and artistic, drawn to music, literature, and painting. Qualities that didn't fit the mold of royal masculinity at the time. From a young age, Charles was taught not to express vulnerability. His emotions were often suppressed, and his sense of duty overshadowed his personal desires. These formative experiences likely played a major role in his choices later in life, including the decision to marry Diana, a match more driven by public expectation than deep emotional compatibility. Even today, Diana's legacy looms large over the royal family. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, have carried on her humanitarian mission. Through charitable work and advocacy, they continue to honor her values and the emotional honesty she brought into the royal household. Yet her memory is also a reminder of the institution's rigidity. Diana challenged royal traditions not out of rebellion, but out of necessity. She demanded to be seen, not just as a princess, but as a person. Her openness about mental health, her rejection of the cold royal demeanor, and her empathy for society's marginalized helped redefine what royalty could mean in the modern world. King Charles's recent statement, delivered with unexpected intensity, was not merely a public declaration. It was the result of years of emotional suppression. Palace insiders suggest that during his marriage, Charles often confided in aides about his frustration with Diana, whom he claimed did not respect him behind closed doors. While Diana captured public affection, Charles reportedly felt misunderstood and sidelined. Now, decades later, those private sentiments have emerged into public view. The emotional outburst wasn't a simple confession. It was an overdue reflection of a life lived under immense pressure, of a man torn between duty, public scrutiny, and forbidden love. Charles's emotional candor may represent a shift in the monarchy's tone. No longer can royal life rely solely on tradition and silence. Transparency, emotion, and authenticity are becoming necessary for survival in a modern age. Whether Camilla will ever be fully accepted as queen remains uncertain. Whether Charles's past choices will continue to haunt the crown is an open question. But what's clear is that the royal family, once bound by silence, is now facing its past head-on. The fairy tale is long over. What remains is something more real, more human, and perhaps more relatable than ever before.